I went to London this weekend to film, was it this weekend? Last weekend, I mean, to film Two-Way Mirrors videos, and this song carried me through this weekend, guys. Like, genuinely, I have been waiting for an Asake song. Asake is my version, is my Nigerian version of J. Cole. Like, that's like, them two, I love them down. Like, honestly, Asake's whole discography his whole this skinny kiniko is just his whole, it's a documentation of his becoming. It's a documentation of like how he got here, of it's ladders. Genuinely, I have so much respect for artists who make their art centralized of helping others and empowering others and making sure that everybody knows that there's enough space for everybody to shine. Whatever you are doing, you can get there. And this song for me, guys, this is a gospel. This is not, the literal name is worship. This is one of my gospels. And genuinely, I think, again, I always say, you can always tell which artist is DL agnostic. All of these Nigerian artists, none of them actually believe in God the conventional way. Every single artist, genuinely, unless you're a gospel artist, but even at then, is debatable. They don't really believe in God a conventional way, so they're all DL agnostic in my eyes. Asake is a DL agnostic, and don't worry, one day we'll sit and we'll talk about it, and he'll be made to, obviously we don't force anybody to come out, but you know, we'll have a chat about it. And yeah, it just, to me, this was just, I was on the first day that I went, how did I even start that day now? I was getting on the trains. No, first day I got there, I went there early and I was like, okay, cool, I'll get some content like whilst I still have my suitcase, because I was like, the whole reason why I got the train so early is so I can film and then go home and have that first day of filming. So I had 3 days of filming. So I was supposed to go, I went Saturday, was supposed to come back on Sunday, but then something happened, so I had to come back on Monday. So I was thinking, okay, cool, I'll have Saturday, Sunday, Monday to film in the morning, because I always try and go like before like peak periods and like just whilst it's really like, well, I'm guaranteed that there'll be free seats, because obviously I film alone, so I put it on the seat in front of me. I don't know why I was just so overwhelmed by nerves. I think it was just the literal luggage of my suitcase that I was dragging, and I just felt like I felt paralyzed to speak. But I did still speak to someone, but she said no to be recorded, but we still had a lovely chat. And it, again, it's just the experience, you know. And I feel like one thing I've caught myself doing or saying or failing to do but saying is my appreciation of the experience. I think this trip, I always say every trip I go, I learn something new. I come back with new notes for this project. And for this trip, there was so many things, but one of them was genuinely appreciating the process and the experience. Because as much as I can say, like, you know, I'm so glad to speak to people that don't want to be recorded, I was still very frustrated at the fact that people, no, not that people didn't want to be recorded, but that I didn't have as much footage as, I say, the last time that I came. And the 2 videos that I got, guys, tell me why I didn't turn on their mics. Tell me why I didn't turn on their mics. I was so irritated, and they were such great chats, and they were the only 2 chats I got. And I was just so frustrated, and then I just had to ground myself in the knowing that it genuinely is the experience. Everything is a win when the purpose and the essence of it is to experience. And I have experienced, and I haven't lost anything. You know, the footage is still there, regardless of the fact that it might not be, you know, the best or any of that. And it's still a learning process. It's a learning curve. It's part of the becoming, you know. And I think I just had to ground myself back in that of like, no, like, it's not just something you regurgitate of like, you know, because when people ask me, it's just like, oh yeah, like I'm still very, like, don't get me wrong, as much as I've had to reground myself in this knowing, it's still a thing of like, I still do enjoy the experience. Like, I genuinely do enjoy the experience of just speaking to people, regardless of whether they want it to be recorded or not. But it was just enjoying it on both aspects of like, okay, cool, I don't mind if we speak and it's not recorded, but also the fact that, I don't know how to articulate it, but just the fact that the project, I don't know how to articulate it, but just enjoying it on both aspects. I guess of just like actually appreciating the experience in its entirety, of like, you know, whilst I'm having that chat, I'm like, wow, I appreciate this so much, and this genuinely is what humanity needs. But then I get back into creator mood, I'm like, well, well, you know. So on that first day I had to end up going home because the suitcase was just, I just realized like, no, like I'm just paralyzed, like I can't, I'm seeing people, and then it was also quite busy, so I just went home. Did I try go back out? I tried going back out in the afternoon and then evening, but it was still really busy because obviously it was Saturday night, and I had lovely chats with lovely people. They just weren't recorded because it was really busy, and enjoyed that experience. I loved it. I'm not gonna go into all the people I spoke to because I don't really have time. So the second day, the Sunday, I went out in the morning. I got no conversations on that. No, the Sunday was the day that I had the first recorded conversation and I didn't turn on the mic. So Sunday I had a very beautiful chat with this Italian man. I think his name was like Marco or like Matthew. But yeah, it was a beautiful soul and beautiful exchange of humanity. And then I couldn't get any other chats on that day. I can't remember what happened. I think it was just that slight feeling of like, not defeat, but just kind of like oh damn, like I've come to London, and last time I came, like I had all of these like these videos and these conversations, and now it's like I have one. But then it was still, again, enjoying the experience and just being grateful for the fact that I had that one. So then I tried again on Monday, and at this point I had excruciating, debilitating migraines. Guys, my head was killing me from my toothache. If you know the pain of toothache, guys, you know that's the worst thing you can ever experience. So I had like this, and it would last, it wasn't recurring. No, it was recurring, but it wasn't persistent. So it would come like 5 seconds every other hour. So I was just waiting, like I would just be speaking and it would just like, ooh, and then it would go. So that in itself, I was just very unsettled, but I still showed up and I still did it, and I was so proud of myself. And in that moment, it was just like, you know, the fact that I've come to London, this is my last day. I did have another conversation that day recorded. It was just that reassurance of like, don't feel remorse, like try your best and wait for results, like honestly. And in that moment, I just felt like I have to have so much trust in myself and genuinely patiently wait for the results, because it's like I'm posting all of these things and I'm doing all of these things, and everyone else around me is probably thinking like, what is this babe doing? But it's like I'm seeing and I'm believing, and I'm not having any remorse or feeling like, oh my gosh, I've wasted this trip to London, or I haven't done as much as like I feel like I should have. But because like I know my greater is coming, my results are coming. And I was just listening to the song on the train like, I'm meant to be here. That's exactly how I was feeling when I was in London. I am meant to be here. This brick feels so right. It feels like I'm in the most alignment that I've been so far. And coming back from London, I've stuck to everything that I said I would do from last week, of like doing things in discomfort, eating in silence, cooking in silence, showering in silence, getting ready in silence. I've spent so much time in silence this week, and I love it. And I'm so grateful for myself for sticking to that. And another thing as well, I think I mentioned in my last videos, or maybe I haven't mentioned, but one of my biggest like worries or like concerns is just having these videos turn into content. And I think I was focused on it in the wrong sense of like, how do I say this? Like I was afraid that they would come into content, they would become content as like, I'm not actually, what's the word, resonating with them. I'm just making sure that I have a video uploaded every week, but I don't actually feel what I'm saying, or I don't actually I'm not actually there in my becoming, or like this whole becoming thing is just an illusion, it's just in my head and it's not real. Either or. But I think what I've kind of realized is that it becoming content is more so in a sense of me not doing the things that I'm supposed to do, me setting those intentions and not abiding by them, me having those goals or discovering those lessons and those like wise guidance within myself and not listening to my intuition, that's when it becomes content. When I stop adhering and stop being obedient. I don't like that word, obedient, religious trauma. But yeah, when I just stopped listening to my intuition, and it just got to the point that I just called myself out of like, you're saying all of these things, but it's getting to a point that you're not doing all of these things, you know, like you're kind of stagnant in where you are, because fair enough, you're afraid, but this doesn't feel like a fear that I felt before, right? It just feels like a stagnancy. It just feels like a, you know, and it's like, you need to do all of these things. You need to move, you need to keep doing. And I never conceptualize this pot that I'm in. I've been in for a while, and I just, as much as like I will always conceptualize, okay, let's say like the last pot that I was in, the objective of that was to write more, and I could imagine myself writing more. I could conceptualize growing out that pot and being like more of a writer. This one of me doing everything in its wholeness and its entirety and doing everything wholeheartedly, I couldn't conceptualize. Like I couldn't imagine a point whereby I'm writing, I'm editing, I'm posting, I'm having these conversations, I'm meditating, I'm doing all of these things. I couldn't conceptualize an end of this pot. Like I just thought like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Like I'm probably going to be here in like 5 months, you know. But it's like I've done so much of that this week, and I'm so proud of myself, guys. I'm so proud of myself. I've just started doing a lot, and I've started editing, I've started writing, I've started like doing everything consistently, and I'm so proud of myself. And I'm talking so fast because I need to go. And yeah, what else is there to be said? Another thing that I've just kind of been sat with this week is just the concept of readiness. And I always go back to this of like, it's there, as long as you're ready to go, it's there, it's ready, you know, the door is there, you just need to open, you just need to reach for it. And it's less of chasing the dream and more becoming the person. And I think that is something that I will forever have to ground myself in realizing that the universe doesn't conceptualize time in terms of weeks and days and minutes. It's more so in terms of identity and just ideas, you know. It's more so like I was that's what readiness is, you know. How ready are you to adapt? How ready are you to become? And the faster you become, and that's not faster in you know, quickly, but just the faster you become in terms of like unraveling, how easily, you know, how with ease you allow change to happen and adaptability to happen. And just, you know, I think change itself is such a scary word and a very scary thing, but change is good, change is great. And I think when you resist change is when you slow down your becoming. And I was watching this one guy, I think his name is Gugazi, I don't want to butcher that, but he is the founder of the project What Makes You. And seeing that in itself was just proof that I am on, guys, I literally cried. I was like, I am literally on the right path. Like if I couldn't conceptualize where this project was going before, I see it now, because it's like, he's there, like he's actually there. Like this is genuinely a different font of exactly where I'm going and who I am going to be, right? And it was just in that, like he was kind of talking about how you know, he had to change how he was rolling out the project, right, from videos to pictures. And I just realized, like, you know, in all the time that you have ideas and concepts and you stick so strictly and so without fluidity to that concept, that original concept, is when you have that friction of change is when you stop growing, you know. And it was just realizing, number one, that it's possible, you're on the right track again. Like, you know, I need that constant reassurance that, okay, you're not delusional, babe. You're not delusional. I mean, I am delusional, but I'm a good type of delusional. And yeah, it was just that reassurance, and I feel like I could have articulated that better. And this is the thing, like before I record these videos, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be like da, 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 da. And I come to it and I'm like, so like how do I want to explain this? But either way, I think I've tried my best. And the reason why I'm rushing to do this now is because I have family coming over later and I'm not gonna be able to film. So I really hate having people in my space, guys. but yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a great week. Yesterday wasn't as productive as it should have been, and I did let myself down yesterday, but you know, today's a new day, it's a new dawn. I haven't been working as much as I should have. I've just kind of been prioritizing my art this month, which is not great because I am at the moment. Always had to add that part because maybe like when the millions start running in, like I'll be chilling, but for now yeah. And yeah, I'm here. I'm finally starting to do most things. I won't say everything because there's always so much more to do and there's so much more becoming to unravel. But yeah, it's just that realization that readiness isn't a time, it's a person. It's you, you know, it's a specific version of you, and it's just more so about becoming that version of you. And depending on how desperately you want to get there, you will actualize that person faster, and you will make all of those changes to become that person, because all the steps, every single step towards your dream requires a change. How willing are you to change and to stop fighting the friction of that change? That's the question. To be or not to be. The greatest of soliloquies. That's a quote from last week's song. But yeah, that is it for me this week, guys. I am Deem. This is me, and keep daring to try.